Hey, Eugene here. Thanks for joining me today. In this video, I want to talk about how I generate leads for me and my agency, how I keep track of those leads, and more specifically about the different lead sources that I have working for my agency to help me talk to as many people as I can about their Medicare needs. So I've been an insurance agent now for 13 years. I started with really old age direct mail leads that were 3, 4, 5 years old. The manager, of course, at the time never told me how old they were. I just knew that they were the best thing ever and I needed to go work them. And then I decided to hire a couple telemarketers to generate me leads. And then a couple years later is when trained telemarketers started happening, where I was able to do it for other agents, not just for myself. Telemarketing leads are about 90% of the business that I get right now for my agency. That's how I get the majority of my conversations that I'm having. But I do have a couple referral partners that I work with, and this video I wanted to specifically make to answer some of the questions that agents have had for me, which is what kind of referral partners and referral systems that I use to help bring in leads other than my telemarketing business. Because telemarketing isn't for everybody. It is a lot of work to call back these leads, and it seems like between 80 and 100 new leads a week come in for me, and it's just a lot of tedious work when it's nice to have some kind of referral that comes in every once in a while. And I wanted to specifically go over that in my different referral partners and referral channels that I'm using for my agency. If you like this kind of content, hit subscribe, hit the like button to this video. If you want to know more, if you have any questions, you can reach out in the comment section below, as well as information about my marketing program, my data program that I have for agents will be listed down below. And what I did is I made myself a list so that way I can keep track for this video about my different referral partners that I have that I've been using. So the first one, and one of the biggest ones that I have, are financial advisors, financial planners. So people who help retirees with their retirement accounts, 401ks, IRAs, dividend accounts, so on and so forth. So financial advisors. And what I do is I reach out to different financial advisors and I introduce myself. And I will actually give you a little bit of a script later on about how I introduce myself. But financial advisors, PNC agents, estate planners, and then of course current clients are some of my biggest referral sources that I have. And then on top of that, I work with large group administrators, so groups that have more than 100 employees. I work with their administrators and help their retirees with questions that they may have coming off of their group plan or going on to Medicare, and they're continuing to work. And so they use me as a resource to help answer any questions that these people have. And then eventually, of course, over time, these people end up retiring, or they may have spouses that it's maybe more beneficial for the spouse to come off of the group plan. So I'm going to go down through each one of these and kind of tell you a little bit about why I like each one, and then maybe go into a little bit as to why I don't. The biggest reason, and I'm going to just summarize the reason why I don't like, I don't want to say like, of course I like referrals, but I don't like to rely solely on referral partners as my only source of leads. Now, you can do this if you want. It does require a lot of work, but you can go and you can take them out to lunches and dinners and get your name out there, but it's not guaranteed that you're going to get a referral. So I like lead sources, or at least the majority of my lead sources, to be something that I can actually control. And one of the things that I can control is an outbound call, which is why, like I said before, 90% of my business comes from telemarketing methods. Now, financial planners, what I like about them is they don't want to do anything related to Medicare. They only want to focus on the financial side of things for these retirees. And I have a couple PDFs and brochures that I've given them and say, hey, if you have people who have questions, here's a resource, here's something that you can give them to help them answer any questions. And of course, my contact information is throughout there. And then then estate planners is the same. They plan estates and they show seniors how to leave money, how to leave estates for their family members. And the biggest thing with financial advisors and estate planners is that these people, their mindset is, I want to keep as much money as I can for myself and my family, and I don't want to spend all my money and my fortune paying medical bills. And so a great add-on to their services is to have somebody like you who can educate their clientele about how they can keep more of their money when it comes to their medical bills. Large group administrators are great also because they don't want to deal, a lot of them don't want to deal with Medicare questions. And so if you can get in front of some of these types of people who do 50 or more. You can do under 50, but a lot of small group administrators also dabble in the Medicare market. So it is a little bit more difficult to get those people to refer clientele to you. Not saying that it doesn't happen, but with the large groups, 100 and more employees, they have so much admin work and so much customer service involved with their current clientele that they don't have time to answer questions about their Medicare, about people's Medicare and retiree questions. And so you can be a really good resource. And again, you want to have some kind of brochure. For me and my agency, I have a binder, of course, with my contact information in there, a welcome letter, a trifold, quick steps. Here's a couple questions that you may have about your situation, about turning 65 or about continuing to work while being Medicare eligible. So just like I said, a front and back trifold document. And then also you want to have a side-by-side comparison sheet of paper. So what I have is a blank paper. On the left-hand side is your current plan, and then we actually go in and fill it in about what their current benefits are. And then the right-hand side is the plan that they may be considering. Now, every referral partner that I've had with the large group, I've always asked them, is there a conflict of interest if I convince somebody to that Medicare is a better option for them than their current coverage, because I don't want to take business away from you and your organization, and because again, they make money the same way we make money. The more people they insure, the more money they make residual income. And every single one of them has said that we want to do what's best by our client, and their client happens to be the employer. Well, most of us know that employers spend a lot of money to insure somebody who is Medicare eligible and their spouses who are Medicare eligible. And so if you can help be a resource and say, hey, look, here's how much your employee is costing you, and here's how much you could save. Let's work some options where it's beneficial for you, Mr. Company owner, and you, the employee. And so I have a couple brochures and a couple documents that I share with both parties. And those types of relationships, really, you're working with the HR representative. The HR people typically send me the business, and they say, hey, so-and-so has a lot of questions. A lot of it comes in an email form as the first initial contact. And then, of course, you just want to be ready to answer any questions that you may have. PNC is another one. Now, some PNC agencies do dabble in Medicare. You want to ask them the question whether or not that's something that they do for their clients. And if they don't, are they using somebody of that capacity? And if they are not, then that's something that you can do for them as well. Now, where it can get a little bit interesting is some referral partners want to refer you a piece of business and then expect a piece of business back, right? And so if they continually refer you business, but then you give them nothing in return, some referral partners will kind of wither away and not want to work with you. For me, that is totally okay. I don't want to work with referral partners that expect something in return. And so whenever I have my first initial meeting with them, I explain to them what I do and how I do it. I like to address the elephant in the room, which is I say, a lot of people ask me, well, I refer you business. Are you going to refer me business? And I always say no, because you're not my only PNC person. You're not my only financial advisor. You're not my only, fill in the blank referral partner. And so then it becomes kind of interesting situation where you're referring somebody business, but you're not referring the other party business. And so I say straight up, I'm not going to refer you business because that's not what I do. I focus on one thing, and I focus on one thing really, really well, which is Medicare. And so whenever you send me somebody, I am saving you a lot of time by not having to go through it yourself with this client, or you don't have to go and tell the client, no, this is not something that you can help them with. And sometimes clients want to keep everything in-house, and so the more you can say yes, the better you can service your clients. Financial advisors, for example, I have some financial advisors that have wanted me to refer them my seniors in return for referrals. I don't work with those types of referral partners. And I tell them, your clients are gonna have questions about Medicare, and you want to be the person that they ask those questions, and of course you pass that on to me, instead of them going to find maybe another financial advisor that dabbles in the Medicare market. And so with the risk of you losing business, this is something that I can help you and your clients. Now, how do I get these relationships? So I had somebody ask this question in one of my groups that I'm in about how do I establish the relationship with these referral partners. So let's talk about current clients. So I always work with current clients to try to get them to refer me business. And the way I do that is I say, I have a referral program where I will give you a gift card if you refer me somebody, and then they use me and they sign up. Now, of course, with some products you cannot do that, so make sure you know your compliance guidelines before you start offering money for business. With a lot of Medicare business, Medicare supplement business, I can give a $25 gift card per referral. And so the way I do it, I have a thank you card, and I mail this thank you card, and I handwrite every single thank you card, and I say, thank you for trusting me with your business. Remember, we have a $25 referral program if you send me somebody you know. Thank you so much. A couple of business cards in there, one for you, and then one for the client, and then one for the client to give away. I put that in an envelope with a stamp on there, and then I mail it. I like the personal touch of actually handwriting my own. So, the 10-15 applications that I submit over the course of a week, Friday evening, Saturdays, I'll actually go and handwrite those thank you cards, and then have my kids put the stamp on the envelopes, and then usually myself or my wife will mail it first thing Monday, Tuesday morning. Financial advisors, PNC, estate planners, what I like to do is I like to call their office, and when I call, usually you'll have some kind of gatekeeper, some kind of assistant, and somebody who's going to answer the phone to screen the call to determine whether or not you're a potential client or if you're trying to sell them something. And so what I typically do is I say, hey, my name is Eugene. I'm a local Medicare agent, Medicare advisor here in the area. I work with retirees and help them understand and help educate them about their Medicare needs. Do you have anybody that you're using to help your clients understand how Medicare works? I usually like to get that out first, because if they're already using somebody, that's not somebody that I'm going to pursue. I don't want to compete for that business. There's plenty of these referral partners that you can get that don't use anybody. And if they say, no, I don't have anybody that I use, I say, okay. And usually, again, this is with the gatekeeper. I say, okay, what I want to do, if it's okay, and the other thing is you want to make sure you know the name of of the owner of that agency, right? So the Edward Jones guy, for example, you want to know the name of the person who's head of that office. And then you say, what I want to do is I want to send John, the owner of the agency, a document that he can give his clients if they have any questions about their Medicare. And so I like to do the approach of I want to give you something with nothing in return first, right? So a lot of times, they're like, well, if you're working with anybody, no, let's go ahead and go get some lunch, go get some breakfast, whatever. No, I don't like to do any of that. I don't want to convince them. I don't want to do anything except I want to help you. Here's a sheet, here's a document that you can use with your clients right away today. Again, I know that they don't have anybody, and I know that their clients ask those questions. Here's a document that will help answer some basic questions about their Medicare enrollment. And it's a one-page sheet. What is Part A? What is Part B? How much does Part B cost? What is Medicare Advantage? How do I find a drug plan, right? Very, very simply, very briefly explain what it is. Maybe a little paragraph at the top, congratulations, now is an exciting time in your life about going to Medicare for the first time. There's a lot of questions that you need help answering, blah, blah, blah. Here's some basic information. If you need more help, here's my contact information. So you give this to the gatekeeper, the assistant, the person who picked up the phone, and say, okay, you're not working with anybody. I'm a local agent in the area. Let me give this to you. Show it to John, right? A week later, follow up and talk to that gatekeeper again. And this is something that doesn't matter if it's PNC, if it's estate planners, it's financial advisors, if it's large group administrators. If you can become friends with the gatekeeper first, you're gonna have a better chance with the owner of the agency. There's a reason why that owner appointed that person to be the face of their company, the person that picks up the phone first. They trust that person. And so if you, the Medicare specialist, can gain the trust of the gatekeeper, it will be a lot easier for you then to get on the schedule of the owner of the agency, which is then your second call and what you want to do the second time around. You call them, hey, Susie, we spoke last week. I sent you a document that you can give to John so he can show his clients if they have any questions about their Medicare enrollment. Oh, yeah, I did. I gave it to him or whatever. Well, the reason why I'm calling, I actually wanted to go over that document with John. Does he have any time on his schedule in the next week or 2 weeks where I can take him to breakfast or lunch? A lot of times they're going to say yes because you're going to buy them lunch. And you've already won the gatekeeper over. Maybe it's going to take over a couple of times before the gatekeeper says, oh yeah, they do have some time in the schedule. But the point is this, you want to win over the gatekeeper first, and then I don't say, hey, can I speak with John? I know John's busy. I know I'm very respectful of their schedule. I don't want to take the time on the phone to get to know them. I want to see when they have some availability on their schedule. And then the assistant will say, well, he has next Tuesday free. Just say, hey, can you pencil me in for next Tuesday? I would love to treat him to some lunch. And so what I like to do is a couple weeks, or a couple days of the month, I like to set aside where I'm taking these different financial planners, PNC agents, financial advisors out to lunch, to get to know them, give them a couple business cards, and then to go over this document that I just gave them. So that's some of the ways that I get business in addition to my telemarketing program that I personally use for myself. And I like referral partners because you don't have to take the time to sell yourself as much because the referral partner has already done that for you. If you have any questions about the information that I just went over, please feel free to leave a comment in the description below with any questions that you may have. My contact information will be down in the description as well. You can email me your questions. If you want to see a copy of this document that I use, feel free to request that. I don't mind sharing it. It's information that I give to all my referral partners, and I don't mind you taking a peek at it. Thank you so much. If you like this kind of content, if you like these kind of videos, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share this video with anybody that you think that would benefit from this. And if you are watching this and you don't work in the Medicare space and somehow you came across my video and you have clients that do need help with their Medicare, my contact information will be down below as well, where you can reach out, and I'd love to give you any kind of resource that you may need to help answer any questions that your clients may have. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you on the next video.